Hi. So we're going to start with chapter 2, section 2 today of the Yoga Vasistha. And we will start with opening prayers. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vivishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bolo Satguru Shri Vinanda Maharaja Ki. Om Bolo Shri Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaja Ki. Jai Ma. Okay. And we say Jai Ma just because this is being recorded for the women's circle, although of course this is fine for anyone to watch, but we just want to make sure we include her. All right, so section 2 is Sage Vishwamitra requests Sage Yoga or Sage Vasistha to instruct Sri Ramachandra. Having related the story of Sri Shukadeva and the manner in which he attained enlightenment, Sage Vishwamitra said to Sage Vasistha, "O great sage, Sri Rama needs to be instructed. You must remove the taints of his mind in the same way as the royal sage Janaka instructed the highly advanced aspirant Sri Shuka." Turning to Sri Rama, Sage Vishwamitra said, "When the enjoyments of the world appear as diseases that must be cured and remedied, it is a sure indication that wisdom has dawned, removing the misty twilight and awakening its own self-effulgent revelation. The fetters of the world process are strengthened by the intensification of the subtle desires for the enjoyments of the world. But when these subtle desires are weakened and effaced, the world process loses its capacity to enchain the soul. O Rama, the destruction of vasanas, subtle desires, is called moksha, or liberation, by the wise seers. To the extent that these vasanas are attenuated or thinned out, one experiences increasing freedom and fulfillment." Turning to the sages, Vishwamitra continued, "O sage, when an aspirant is endowed with supreme dispassion, his ignorance is dispelled by the mere act of listening to the instructions from an enlightened sage. It is difficult to find an aspirant with such an intense form of dispassion as had been expressed by Sri Rama." So listening to scriptures like these is really good for dispelling ignorance. Just as vines do not grow in a desert, so spiritual knowledge does not grow in a mind that is overpowered by the impressions of attachment and passion. Sri Rama has attained vairagya by the force of his reflections. He needs to listen to the teachings of Vedanta from the lips of his guru. Vedanta means end of knowledge or culmination of knowledge. I've heard it defined different ways, but Veda is knowledge, Anta meaning culmination or end of. One's face reflects clearly in a mirror that is wiped clean of all dust particles. In the same way, the divine self with a capital S, reflects clearly in the purified mirror of a mind that has been freed from dust particles of worldly desires. When a spiritual teacher who is beyond attachments and devoid of fear and anger gives instructions to a qualified aspirant, the latter acquires the knowledge of the self in a short time and becomes established in Brahman. Therefore, let Sage Vasistha, the family preceptor of Rama, teach him the art of spiritual enlightenment." At this, Sri Vasistha said, "I welcome the loving command of Sage Vishwamitra with exceeding joy. I will dispel the darkness of Sri Rama's mind with the lamp of spiritual wisdom. I will expound the teachings that I have received from Lord Brahman on the Nishada mountains during the early days of creation." This is the wisdom that Sage Vasistha planned to present before Rama proceeded from the cosmic mind. So the idea is that this whole play, it, it's interesting because he planned to teach this to Shri or to Rama, and yet we're going to hear here that everything is self-effort. There's no such thing as destiny, and yet there'll be this interplay between destiny and self-effort. The next section is the nature of the world process in the 3 periods of time, and I think the next we go into self-effort. Yeah. We will end with closing prayers. Om Purnamidam Purnamida Purnam Purnamudashate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace peace peace. There is on YouTube you can subscribe. There's a little bell. There's a subscribe button and then there's a bell for getting notifications. Some of you have said you've been trying to follow along. I mean, for about a month wasn't here, but that will alert you when these are put up. I'm gonna try and put them up in the morning. We'll see how this works out. Thank you.